right, here is the very last hiatus episode that you're going to hear before we jump back in. Yeah, before we come back. You know, the series or the season premiere, so to speak, in September. Sometime. Yeah. Anyway. This one's cool because it's with the one and only Godhead,
who is now back to Godhead.
Right. And those guys
because they got a cease and desist from the 1990s grunge alternative rock band Godhead. Which Back to Godhead is just as cool because those are the zines. The Krishna zines that came out back in the day. They were called Back to Godhead. So it just fits perfectly.
Yeah, it was cool to chat. And it's a great. This one was with Javier, if I'm not mistaken. And
this was called The Best Part of Waking Up is Coffee and Hardcore in Your Cup. And this one dropped April 25th, 2022. And this is season 3, episode 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So,
you and Steven chat with him.
We did, and it was a really good conversation that continued further conversations through some social media with Javier and stuff. So it was good. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's pretty cool.
We love us some Back to Godhead.
That's right. So can't wait till they got more stuff dropping.
Yeah, so we picked this one also because Back to Godhead is exploding. I personally love their music. I know you do as well.
Yeah.
I think they have big things in their future if they stick together and persevere. And we are just huge fans of Back to Godhead. And so we're excited. We want to have Back to Godhead back on the Coffee and Hardcore podcast. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
When they're about to drop something new. But for now, this is the Godhead episode before they were Back to Godhead. So enjoy.
Yes.
Time for Coffee and Hardcore, your fuck knockers. Fuck knockers!
From Chicago, Nick was in Zayo. And don't forget about Steven, his ass is from Boston. Welcome to Coffee and Hardcore.
It's time! Yay! What? Hey!
All right. Welcome to Coffee and Hardcore. And wow, have we got a show for you? We're into season 3. I don't remember what episode is, but here we are, right?
We got some killer stuff on this show. I can't wait to share it with people.
I know. So, hey, I'm Mick, and I'm in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and we've got
Steven Scopa from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
We're here
one more time, and this is a cool episode because we got Wiley jumping in for a little bit. He's got an album he wants to review. He's got some coffee he wants to review, and he's going to yell a lot. We also have Javier from Godhead with us on this episode.
Yeah. I'm stoked to talk to him.
Yeah. Okay. So killer record they put out on cassette and all different colors and just a killer band all around, and it was great to talk to him. So that interview's on here. We review some killer albums as well. We do 1, 2, 3, 4 when you throw in the Godhead EP. So some killer reviews.
A lot of West Coast stuff on this one.
Pretty much
West Coast, and we got one like smack dab right in the middle of the country.
Yeah, Midwest and West Coast. Yeah. So good stuff there, and some great coffee reviews. So this show is just killer.
Jam-packed with a bunch of yes.
So, yeah. So other than that, and this being a great show, we are also getting ready for hockey playoffs.
Oh yes.
And if you don't know, and we haven't talked about it a whole lot, but if you could see Steven and myself and Wiley's group chat, you would know the whole thing is all about coffee, hardcore, and hockey. That's all we talk about.
There's a ton of hockey.
Yes, a whole lot of hockey.
Yeah, and I'm obviously a diehard Bruins fan.
Yes.
You got the Ducks in your house.
Yeah, the Ducks are in my house.
Hopping on the Flames wagon for the playoffs, probably.
I am hopping on the Flames wagon for the playoffs just because the Ducks aren't going to make it.
And Wiley's got like 4 or 5 teams he follows.
Yes, he is a Red Wings fan, but they're not going to make it. So he's picking some others, and I think he's flowing with you a little bit with the Bruins.
Yeah, he's got the Bruins vibe. He's a big Penguins fan. I know that. So it's old school hockey. He likes that old school stuff. So it's good stuff. Hopefully this playoff season will be good to us.
I know. I'm excited. Excited for it. All right. Well, enough hockey.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some coffee and hardcore. Let's get into this. All right.
Definitely.
All right, here we go. Oh man, this is pretty crazy because Steven and I have someone with us tonight who, man, we just love this EP so much, and to have Javier with us from Godhead to talk is just super exciting. So Javier, it is so awesome to have you with us tonight, my friend.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How are you both?
Welcome.
Thank you,
man. So listen, I'm just gonna kind of fanboy's not the right word. I seriously, when Wiley sent me your EP, I was seriously, it was on nonstop. My wife absolutely loves this EP, plays it all the time. She was so stoked to find out that we were gonna have you guys on.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like just we kind of follow you guys a lot on the social media to see what's going on. And even when you guys were offering this, like we jumped on it because we wanted to go through it and dig through it as well. So it's just, I mean, we're just so pumped to have you on. So
that's awesome, man.
So I'm just gonna ask. I know you guys probably get asked this all the time. So this is my first question, and then Steven can jump in too. But like, how did you guys start? Like, what ignited all this?
Yeah, so the band actually started under the name Goshala, which translates to like a place where cows are protected. So in Vedic culture and in India, there will be, cows aren't eaten, cows are revered, they're respected. And so a Goshala would be a place where the cows are free to live and people just come and take care of them. And it was Ekaraj, who plays guitar now. Ty, who is our drummer, he was also playing guitar. Manohar, who is our bass player, he's always been on bass. And then we had a different drummer, and then I was actually the singer, and I put that in air quotes because I didn't actually do anything. Our band practice, wildly enough, is at 7 a.m. on Sundays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
it kind of like between all the members of the band, we got 9 kids. We're all kind of career, we're adults, we're grown-ups. And
Right.
so that just kind of worked out to be the only time that we could practice. And so they asked me to come and sing. I would show up sometimes to practice, sometimes I wouldn't. I was kind of flaky. And so they were just like, yo, we need to continue this band. And do you want to do it? And I'm like, you know what? Find someone else. They tried a couple times. And then I think for a few months, they were just kind of, in like limbo. And then Manohar, the bass player, he hits me up on the side and he goes, yo, we're still playing music. And it's like a little more traditional hardcore. The vein that we were going before was a little bit heavier, a little bit more melodic. So I hit up Ekaraj and I was like, yo, I heard that you guys are playing again. I'm interested in playing with you guys. And so Ty had moved to drums. They were in need of a guitar player, and it just worked out. And so eventually, we settled on the name Godhead. There was like a industrial kind of metal band, which we've been called out a couple times by friends about, but you know what? They're not active, and it just it fit, and it's just kind of it's a cool name. Also like a slight nod to Burn from the song from their EP. And so we're all hardcore kids. I actually met Ekaraj runs the BBT, the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust warehouse. This, if you look on the back of that Bhagavad Gita you hold up, it says BBT. He runs the warehouse that distributes all of the Krishna books across the whole world, basically. Oh, wow. So he does like the shipping and receiving and management and stuff of that. And so we practice there at the warehouse, surrounded by all these thousands of books. And so it just, everything kind of came together. We're all hardcore kids. We have like a spiritual mission, and it just worked.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have a question to go into the recording of the EP, because I love the EP. You guys did a great job. And I saw some big names like Taylor Young at the Pit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious how that came about, like getting hooked up with him. And then I think I forget the guy's name. Maybe it was Will or something at
Will Killingsworth.
Yeah. And then you got hooked up with Contraband too. So if you could just tell us maybe a little bit how that all came about, that'd be kind of cool to hear.
Sure. So I guess before I stepped back into the band, and before actually COVID lockdown, Ekaraj put a down payment on doing a recording with Taylor Young at the Pit. And I was like, yo, let's just fucking record this at like demo, like just have someone bring in a laptop and and he's like, no, this could be the only time we ever get to record. So let's make it sound as good as possible. And I was like, all right, let's do that. So I'm super glad that we did, because man, everything sounds so thick on that recording. The drums, especially, like he made it sound like otherworldly, and it was so cool working with Taylor. And then I actually run Contraband.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my label. I started it in 2009, and so it just kind of fit that I would do the physical release of this, at least on cassette. We opted at this time not to do vinyl because the back, it's so backed up, man. And I would, in an ideal world, we would record another EP and then put both of those on a 12-inch. That's, to me, is like the ultimate goal for these songs. And then I had used Will Killingsworth a couple times before to master stuff for Contraband, namely the Tourniquet record. I Hate the Way This Makes Me Feel, which was one of my favorite things that we ever put out. And he did such a great job on that I was like, we could have kind of gone, I don't want to say anywhere, but we had a lot of options for mastering. And Will just really seems to be like, if you have heavy hardcore right now, Will is like, at the top of the game.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't know you were a part of the label. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you started actually it's my main job right now. That's awesome. I was a hairstylist and barber for 20 years. And after the first COVID lockdown, my wife was like, yo, just don't go back. Like, let's try to work from home, try to make this happen. And we've had some ups and downs with it over the past couple of years, but I think we just did our 30th release with that.
Wow. That's awesome. It's great. It's great being able to do something that you love.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard. And I had a friend hit me up a couple of days ago who, he got fired from his job, and he's like, I've been told that I should work for myself. What should I do? And I just had to tell him, like, it's hard, but what I can tell you is don't be scared. And there's no one to motivate you. That's like the hardest part of owning your own business or running a label, is like, I just got to fucking do it. I got to grip and rip.
Right.
I don't have anybody. I bounce ideas off of a couple friends, little Chris, who was in Tourniquet, and Hector from Ales and Ills. I really rely on them for aesthetic stuff. But other than that, we're kind of cassette only. I've done a couple CDs, I've done a couple records, but tapes are just kind of my thing. I've always been fascinated with tapes, and it's kind of cool. A lot of the inspiration for the way the actual cassette looked for the Godhead record was taken because I collect old Hare Krishna cassettes that were published in like the 70s and 80s. And I wanted it to look and feel like that. And so I have a stack of those, and, listen to them in the office. It's really cool the tapes, as any physical media can break or warp or whatever, but tapes are just fucking so cool, man. You can throw them around and trade them and make mixtapes for friends and stuff. It's awesome.
So it's so crazy because my first encounter with like Krishna and Krishna conscience is back when Zayo first started and we were playing shows. We played shows here in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and there was a band from Wheeling, West Virginia called Bala, and they were Krishna. And dude, like, one, they were amazing. They put on a crazy set, but they would have a tape deck and they would bring it and set it up, and they would play tapes like before and during their entire set. And I just remember the atmosphere. It was just so amazing. Like, there was just nothing like it. And to this day, like, I'd meet somebody and we talk about shows, like old school shows back here in town, and be like, yeah, but do you remember Bala? And everybody like, dude, yeah, like, whatever happened to those guys? And we don't know. Like, we can't even, like, I remember they had cassettes and we bought cassettes, but like, we have no idea where any of those guys have went, but they were just so amazing. Played like 4 or 5 times with them, but that was my first encounter. So to hear you talk about those cassettes, it automatically brought me back to that, because at every show they had this silver jam box that they would put the tape in, put a microphone on it, and that's how they started, and then they just go for it, and it was so good. And even like hearing this EP, and then some of the other stuff that just seems to be coming out now from like
Invocation.
Yes. And what was the other band we were
Safe.
Yes.
Safe.
We reviewed their album a couple episodes ago, and just that feeling and just the emotion and everything. And so I kind of wanted to ask you about that, because this EP, what drug me to it was not only the sound, because the bass tone is amazing to me. I love the bass tone on this album, and it's heavy, but also there's like there's a lot of hope in this record. There's a lot of maturity. I hear the maturity in it, and but there's a lot of hope, a lot of inspiration. Is that kind of the vibe you guys were going for? I mean, or
yeah, so it's interesting because when you think of Krishnacore, you think of 2 main bands, right? That's just you go to Shelter and you go to 108.
Right.
Shelter had some really good hardcore records and then some mediocre pop punk records. Right. It got a little weird there at the end. And on the flip side of that, you have 108 that was like, there's a lot of despair and a lot of like pain in those recordings, especially in Songs of Separation. And sonically it's so different too. 108, it's very metallic. You got a lot of Bad Brains influence, and it's a little bit more discordant, screamier. We didn't want to go that route, but we didn't want to go the route of Shelter either. So like sonically, we found our path in like kind of more traditional hardcore. Everyone in the band loves like mid 2000s Boston hardcore, like Right Brigade and Verse. And then, newer stuff, like we love Punch, we love Mindset. And so we're trying to drawing inspiration from, bands like Judge, and trying to not sound weak musically. But, Krishna consciousness, if you practice it studiously and seriously, there's this phrase that's called Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, and it's cleansing the dust off of the mirror of the heart. And so if you take to Krishna consciousness, the hope is that you're realistic about the world. Like, this world is fucked up, you know, and Cro-Mags kind of captured a little bit of that. I wouldn't call Cro-Mags a Krishna core band, but there was like proto Krishna core almost, or, you know, there's some themes in there. And the members, John Joseph has dealings with Krishna consciousness. But it's being able to recognize that there's some really awful stuff in this world, but also, like, we don't have to focus on that. We can, and not to be like Mr. fucking PMA guy and like super positive, but also, like, you know, especially in the song Karuna, and Dinesh, he wrote all of the lyrics, but that, when I saw the lyrics of that, and it was like, what would you do if you saw someone suffering? You know, there was, you know, with Zayo, you're familiar with spirit-filled hardcore. So
right.
I grew up here in Orange County, and Unashamed was like huge, right? And I remember seeing Unashamed one time, and the dude was like, if you saw a train coming towards your friend, wouldn't you try and like pull your friend out of the way and like save him? And that kind of always struck me, like, yeah, like I think that I would try to help people, and I wouldn't just like let bad things happen to people. Now, we're not going to be super preachy. We're not up in people's faces, but we're trying to make Krishna consciousness a palatable thing that if you're interested in it, you can come and talk to us. We'll send you a book. We'll hang out or whatever, and we'll show you that, you know, it's not, I don't know, man. ISKCON got some like there was some like real weird stuff in the 80s and 90s, and things are like very different now, I believe. And, you know, aside from the institution of ISKCON, but Krishna consciousness in general, when I found Krishna consciousness, I was beyond an atheist. I was like a misotheist. I was like, fuck all of this, fuck all religion, all of this. And eventually my heart warmed up to it, and here I am today, a devotee in a Krishna conscious band. It's wild. It's a wild journey, man.
Wow.
I can relate with that, because so obviously I'm a Christian, but it's kind of in a similar way. I was an atheist. I didn't believe in anything my whole life. Different view, but same thing kind of happened with me, and I got involved in this stuff. And I think Mick can relate too, because there's a lot of that weird stuff happened in the 80s and 90s and on our end of the books too. So kind of gives everybody a bad name, but there's a lot of good things to take from it. So it's cool stuff to be able to share that with people and show them a different way to look at things, you know?
I mean, all we can really do is like model the process, right? Whether you're a hardcore kid, a devotee, a dad, a businessman, whatever, just trying to be the best version of that you can be, and letting people see what you can do. You know, people in my life have seen me go through a lot of changes, to go from like in the 90s, like a scrawny vegan warrior, to then being like a kind of a drunk punker shit starter, to then being like, oh, well, this is what I am now. And without losing any sincerity in any of that, or trying to maintain some credibility throughout all of that, has been difficult, but here we are today.
Right.
Yeah. I you know, like, I'm 47, and for the majority of my life, I've been in the quote unquote Christian world or whatever. But in my older age and growing up a little bit, it's been awesome to see the beauty of other things and the other ideas. And when you guys posted about giving out the books for free and everything, and my wife was like, dude, we should get that. We should look through it. And so it was just so cool. Just that simple to be able to get something like that, to look through it some, and then to read some more of your lyrics and read some other stuff out. It's just, there's just so much more hope in the world when you open yourself up to the beauty of other ideas and not get so locked into this is it. No, like there's a lot of beauty around us. And if we can, Steve and I have talked about this before, there's so much beauty around us, just from different ideas and different thoughts and different faiths. If we could just open up and just be just freaking honest about it.
Yeah. There's a Shelter lyric that I've even as an atheist was interesting to me. And when he says, like a painting without a painter, absurdity, how could it be? Like, one of the things about any sort of God consciousness is like looking around at the world and being like, someone or something, I believe, created all of this.
Right.
And it's not an accident. It's not just a like chemical combination. I don't believe that. All of this stuff that is here, and we've been doing a lot of traveling lately. We've been camping and going to the beach and the mountains, and sometimes I'll just stop and be like, wow, like I think Krishna created something really, really special here, and so we should enjoy that.
Yeah, totally.
So
So what's the future plans for Godhead? What's coming up?
Well, it's hard for us to play shows because Dinesh, our singer, lives in Las Vegas, which is about 4 or so hours away from us. So the rest of us are toiling away writing. We have at least 3 songs musically completed, and then we have a bunch of other stuff. I was actually texting with our drummer Ty today, and I was like, yo, we had like a whole last song that I wrote and we practiced, and it's gone. We got to find that song. So, one of the things that we've kind of agreed on is that not one person in the band should write a whole song by themselves, because then what happens when you go in to record is you have 5 songs that sound different. So we're kind of more interested in bringing parts to the table, bringing riffs to the table, recording like little 30-second snippets of, I got this idea for a fast part, or I got this idea for a 2-step part or whatever, and then coming together as a group and blending them all together. And so that's what we're focusing on, is trying to do another, I've brought up the idea, hey, we got 3 songs, let's fucking record them right now. Let's just go into the studio, any studio, demo quality, I don't care. Let's just get this stuff down. And, if we got to re-record them again, that's fine. I love it when bands have like, a demo version or a live version, or, on a bonus tracks on a CD or whatever. So I would just love to keep writing, recording, playing. We've played San Diego, we've played Orange County. I'd love to go. There's a slew of cool bands from Ventura County. There's a band called In Time from up there. There's a lot of cool Orange County bands, Take It to Heart, Firestarter, and then Bent Blue. This is, and Berthold City, of course.
Oh yeah.
And these are the guys that like we love playing with. Great dudes, great bands. Everyone's, when we play with these bands, it's just such like a cool vibe and scene. Nobody's there like, to be harder than anybody else. And that's basically what we got moving forward, is just trying to keep that momentum of playing here and there. If someone wants to fly us out for a fest, if someone wants to fly us to the Philippines or Malaysia to play some shows, like,
nice.
Hey, we'll make it work. Yeah.
I saw the first show. The first show was at Program Skate and Sound, right?
Uh-huh.
That was with Berthold City and Change.
Yeah.
That's
well. Actually, we didn't get to play that show with Change.
No.
Yeah, we our first show was at Program. It was a different show. I would love to get a chance to play with Change. I'd love to get a chance to play with Strife, Inclination, Magnitude. These are the types of bands that I'm looking forward to being able to like hang out with and play with. And it's hard. Like, you're 47, I'm 45. Most of the people in the band are in between 35 and 45 or so. And I said this on my own podcast recently, the Where It Went podcast. Hardcore is a very ageist place.
Yeah.
Both ways, up and down. Young kids not respecting older people for making music, and older people not being into the stuff that younger people are making or not paying attention to it. And I really love to be able to like transcend that somehow and not be considered an old guy band or you know not be pegged or pigeonholed. So that's kind of what we're working on too.
Awesome. Yeah, that's kind of like our heart behind this whole thing too, is like we want to kind of like bridge that gap and kind of bring like old school, new school, all of it together, because there's so much good stuff out there right now. And it's like it's just so sad when that stuff starts happening. But I do think for the most part, from the conversations that we've been having lately, it seems like for the most part, it seems like it's moving in a different direction. Like it's more open. I at least that's what I feel from the vibe that I get from folks.
Yeah, I would like to think so. You know, of course I'll even say it, there's bands that are made up of older guys that it sounds like old guy hardcore. You know what I mean? But
yes.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, there's bands made up of younger people who are like, maybe you guys should practice a little bit more, my dude, you know, like or own your chops a little bit there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it what it comes down to though is, you know, community, feeling and not aggression, and necessarily that for me anyways, I don't fit in the like super, I don't even want to say tough guy, but more of the like, you know, beat down scene. That's never really been my scene. I'm too scrawny for that.
So do you think that there might possibly, and this might be a selfish question, but do you think that there might possibly be another run of your all's album on cassette again?
Yes, actually it's at the printing the plant right now.
Yes.
We sold out quicker than we thought we would. And yeah, I would love to, like I said, eventually get more songs onto CD and vinyl. I actually love CDs. I love going to the used bookstore by my house, buying CDs for $1 and then just listening to it in my car. It's like, it seems like such an archaic form of media, but it's a great way to experience a whole album. So we will have some. I might have some in the office if you wanna message me on the down low, and I'll sort you out there. I got some. I sent Wiley. We pressed 4 colors of the Godhead EP. You know, the basic white, the blue, which is only available at shows, the yellow for Revelation Records. And so Wiley was like, yo, I want one of these other colors. And then I sent him like the other one that he wouldn't have been able to get. And he was super stoked. So usually I hold a couple back for just such an occasion. So I can help you.
Thank you. Because Wiley's been rubbing it in my face. And no, I'm joking. No, every time it pops up, I'm always so late. And I'm like, dang it, I'm too late. But thank you so much.
I'm trying to also, I had a conversation with Ekaraj, our guitar player today also, of like every shirt that we've done has been a pre-order. Yeah. And then I don't have any in stock. And then, you know, people ask for stuff. I'm like, I don't have any. So I'm going to order some shirts so that I just have a stack of shirts in the web store as well. So if anybody ever wants, you know, a shirt, I can help them with that too.
Because you guys sell out on merch fast too. It's like
usually what we've been doing, and this is kind of a hack for smaller labels, is you run a 4-day pre-order, and then you just turn that into the printer, and then you print that many, and so you're not out any money. Like if I want to order 4 dozen shirts right now, I got to cough up a bunch of money. Right. But if it's a pre-order, but the downside of that is you don't always have shirts just like, you know, on deck in case someone else wants one. So that's my next goal, is to keep that in press, keep shirts on hand at all times, and more books, pamphlets, We've talked about doing another zine. We had like a little lyrics one, but 108 especially, they were really good at putting together a fanzine. That's what you got. 108 had like a full fanzine where like a full description of every song on every page, some basic introduction to Krishna consciousness, some of the ideas. And I'd love to do something like that too. So maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah.
That'd be killer.
So Wiley, before we get to the, you know what questions I'm getting ready to ask, you got, or not Wiley, I'm sorry, Steven. I'll edit that part out.
He's almost back.
Yeah, he's almost back. He's still on baby hiatus.
Right.
But Steven, you, before I ask the two questions that we normally ask, you got something else you want to throw out?
I love what you guys are doing. I think it's pretty cool, the spirit-filled hardcore. Having that around, it's a rarity these days, unfortunately, but it's a great thing for the hardcore and the community. So yeah, definitely keep doing.
Hardcore is always, there's a contingent in hardcore who is like, religion does not belong here. Keep God out of hardcore or whatever. But if I'm a hardcore kid and I love hardcore and I'm also a God conscious kid, then why can't I bring those two things together? Right. There's such a history of religion or religious people in hardcore. I mean, even look at Bad Brains. You're gonna tell Bad Brains they don't belong in hardcore? I'm sorry, but that's not gonna work. So, but it is great, if there's spirit-filled hardcore bands, Krishna core bands, a Buddhist hardcore band, whatever it is, whatever you believe, fucking sing it as loud as possible, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So first question is, what's your guilty pleasure? Like, what is it that TV, it could be TV show or music that if someone knew, oh man, you watch that, or oh man, you listen to that.
Yeah.
That one thing that you're like, oh, I don't really.
I probably have one of each.
Okay.
TV wise, I actually like Bridgerton.
That's a new one. We haven't had that one on the show yet.
That's a tough one. Even my wife is like, yo, this is garbage. What are you doing? Guilty pleasure musically, I don't really believe in that, but I actually really enjoy Taylor Swift's newest, the Taylor version of Red. It's like 30 something songs, and we listen to that a lot in this house and on road trips. And there's some serious bangers on that record, man.
I love it.
No shame in that one. There's no shame.
Yeah.
Awesome. So because it is coffee and hardcore, we would be remiss to bring up the coffie aspect. You a coffee drinker?
I fucking drink so much coffee. It's unreal. And Srila Prabhupada advised devotees not to drink coffee or tea, as it's a stimulant and, not necessarily a drug per se, but, just kind of wanted people to live as cleanly as possible. There's a lot of things that devotees avoid eating and cooking with and this and that. So I unfortunately, I am not at that level. And I drink probably a minimum of 2 fluid cups of coffee before noon. And then in the afternoon, I'll do a latte or a can of yerba mate. I was just in Mexico City, and if you ask for a cafe, they give you an Americano. That's just like what people, and so coming back, I've been drinking Americanos more than lattes because, the milk content. There's a couple spots by my house that do Americanos with like a Topo Chico or like a fizzy water. And that is so refreshing. But yeah, man, I love coffee.
Is there a place you'd want to shout out that's close by, like that shop close by? You want to?
Yeah. So actually in Long Beach, California, there's a new coffee shop called Wood Coffee that's all plant-based, queer owned and operated. And it's great. And it's like, they're doing really cool stuff. There's actually Calvary Chapel here in Orange County, which is a kind of a big mega church type deal, right? Like,
right.
But there's, I believe it's a Calvary in my town that opened a coffee shop next door called Moon Goat. And I think it's like people who went to the school own the coffee shop. And so, you know, it's kind of connected, and you'll see a lot of people doing Bible study there during the weekend stuff, but they're the ones with the fizzy Americano, and they got a couple other really good drinks. And it's a cool spot because it's so close to me. But man, Southern California, it's crazy how much good coffee there is here. Also got a shout out Timeless Coffee in the Bay Area, and of course Essex Coffee Roasters in Boston. The homie Aaron and those guys sponsored a few episodes of the Where It Went podcast, and I've gotten some beans from Essex and from Wise House, and everything's just been super awesome. So there's a lot of good coffee out there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I could probably talk as much about coffee as I could about hardcore.
Awesome.
Love
Yeah,
it.
we just had Aaron on from Essex. Yeah.
Great dude, man. You know, my old band played with Bane and Converge a few times, and his new band Be Well is truly one of the best bands in hardcore right now. Brian McTurnan is such an amazing dude, and that is a band that I think people pass up because they think that it's old guy hardcore, but man, it's so emotional and impactful. Yes. And I wish that people would really pay attention to Be Well as much as possible.
Yeah. That honestly, that their last record is what got me through this past year. It's so good. So good.
The weight and the cost. It's
one
of the only videos by a hardcore band that's ever brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
The lyric video for A Weight and a Cost.
Yeah.
So great stuff.
Yeah. So before we go, you got anything that you want to, put out there, promote, any other bands you think people should check out? Anything maybe that you guys are doing that you want to make sure people know of? Anything the label's doing that you want people to know of? Or
I mean, you can check us out both institutions on Instagram, Contraband Goods, Godhead.hc. There's a lot of good stuff going around in Orange County, like I said, and in LA, a lot of cool bands. And I think a big shout out to No Echo. Their Instagram, website, and Facebook group, when people aren't talking about Turnstile, it's a really good place to kind of catch up and keep up on new hardcore. And Carlos is a great dude. He does a lot of good stuff, and he's a smart guy. And shout out to War Records. Also, Andrew Klein is, just really continually putting out great stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Seriously.
Thank you so much.
And we can't wait to hear what's coming up next, man.
Stay tuned. So. We'll make sure that you guys get a sneak peek before anyone else too.
Yes. Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bonus round.
Hey, is this thing on? What's up, y'all? It's Wiley. Back on the Coffee and Hardcore podcast, kind of. So I'm giving you guys an update. I'm not actually chatting with the guys, but I'm recording something for you so you know I'm still alive and I'm okay. I'm sure you really don't care because Mick and Steven are killing it. They're doing great. I even told them if they want to do it without me, they have my blessing. And they said no. So I'm just going to add a little stuff for you. I'm going to do a little off-the-cuff update. I'm a dad. My son, Otto Wiley Willis, is 4 months old. He's keeping my wife and I, Libby, super busy. Work is keeping me busy, working on the new Me Without You final farewell ×4 tour. They've been going away for the last couple years, so we've been printing for them, and we love printing for them. It's just a lot of work, and that's okay. It keeps us busy. Busy doing that. Busy working on mixing, mastering the new 2-Minute Minor record. Busy working on a new Redline song. Got to record vocals for that. So, just been busy with life, but it's been going good. I'm doing good. Glad the podcast is still going. Glad those two goofy guys, Mick and Steven, are doing a good job with it. And life's good. Podcast is good. Glad you're still listening. And thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Coffee and Hardcore podcast. Just because I can't be in it 100% right now doesn't mean I don't still love it, because I do. And I love Mick. I love Steven. And he's doing awesome. He's the hardcore encyclopedia. And he's a good person to take my place short time or long term. Not sure yet. But I'm going to be popping in on here. I'm going to be the hype guy from now on. You'll hear me do a lot of yes, what, and okays. I'll be throwing those in. So listen to the podcast. I'm going to stop rambling. Okay, bye. Okay, bye for real.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
All right, so it's time. It's coffee review time. So here's the deal. We've got some killer coffee this week, and Steven's got some, Wiley's got some, but I don't have any. And here's the reason why. I'm kind of out of ideas. I've been looking around trying to think about, should I try this or should I try that? And so I need some suggestions. So I need folks to write in, text, send a message via carrier pigeon. Send me some ideas of something that I could get to try, because I'm out of everything at the house other than our normal Joe coffee. And I just need something new. I've tried everything in the area. I've reviewed all of it. So I just need something new. So send me your suggestions, or send me some free coffee. That'd be even better. Yeah. Send me some free coffee and I'll review it. And so hook me up so I can get it out there for the people to hear about. So yeah, no coffee for me this week. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. And if you want a second opinion, send me the free coffee too. Yeah, I would definitely try that for you.
So Steven, what do you got?
That goes into mine. So my coffee, I'm kind of in the same boat. I've been kind of looking for something, and I saw someone post this on Instagram. I don't remember who it was, but I saw it, and it kind of, I'm from a skiing family, so the name hit me. It's called Best Slope Coffee. Okay. From Colorado. They're in the mountains somewhere. I didn't get the exact place, but I want to say I picture it being on the side of a ski slope. It's probably not right, but no. But the company is it's a small company. They have a bunch of different stuff. I got one bag. It's a Papua New Guinea. It says Wagi Valley. I'm not sure what that's from, but the thing that intrigued me was it has pepper in it. Ooh, and okay. I've never personally tried a coffee with pepper. So it's a savory, brothery pepper and apple, and it's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I love this coffee. I'm definitely getting more of it. It's such a different taste than the normal coffee. It's not sweet, but it's not ridiculous pepper, but it's got a really cool taste. I don't know if I think it might be the mix of the pepper and the apple and everything. Yeah. But it's really good. My recently had some family members over. They tried it. They were very impressed. My wife's but she's not a pepper person, so I kind of get that. But yeah, definitely. I suggest, they're from Colorado. They have an Instagram account, so we can tag them. They do have a whole bunch of other stuff, and I haven't got yet to try the other stuff, but it looks like they have a good variation of all different types of beans and stuff. So Best Slope Coffee, Colorado. Check it out. The pepper is super. It's a whole different ball game. So yeah, it opened up I opened up my taste buds.
I'm interested. So pepper as in
red. It's red pepper, so it's like crushed red pepper, like almost like the stuff you'd put on like a pizza or
no way.
Yeah. It's really good. It's very good.
That's super interesting. So now I want to try that.
Right.
There's just way too many good things out right now.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm like, oh man, pepper and apple. I'm like, this is gonna be really good or really bad. You know?
Like, and it turned out really good.
Yeah, it turned out really good. It's killer stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, Wiley sent us his coffee review. So we're gonna drop that right here. Here it goes.
Hey, what's up, Coffee and Hardcore Podcast? This is my coffee review. Wiley's coffee review. Big Shoulders Coffee. Here we go. You ready for it? I'm sure ready. Big Shoulders Coffee. It's from right here in Chicago, Illinois, where I'm standing. I did the Falcon Blend medium roast, the South American blend. It is so good. It has the notes are peanut butter, toffee, and chocolate. And I really dig this coffee. I'm sorry. I'm like, for some reason, I'm talking like a professional wrestler. Yeah, brother. And I shouldn't be because I'm just doing a coffee review. So I'll stop. Anyways, it's super smooth coffee. It's got a great hint of chocolate aftertaste. And maybe that's because I read the notes that were listed and it pushes my brain to think that way. But either way, it's there. I taste it. I smell it. I love it. I love grinding this coffee in the morning. I love smelling it when I wake up. And I really love the taste. And my wife got this for me and it actually kind of blew me away because I haven't had coffee this good in a very long time. But you know what? I never really know what I'm talking about with most things, ever. But I truly like this coffee a lot, and I highly recommend it. The end.
Awesome. It was good to hear. Good to hear Wiley's review, right?
Oh yeah, he's back.
He's back, and he's a crazy man. And so that's another good coffee. See, I'm gonna have to look more. Is I guess is what I'm gonna have to do.
I have an idea for the next show, and I'll talk to you after because I came across something that we need to check out.
All right, awesome. See, we have new fresh ideas. You're on season 3.
You can still send us free coffee.
Yes, you can still send us free coffee, and we'll try it and we'll taste it.
Definitely.
Awesome.
All right, here we are. It's time for hardcore. So we're gonna start with Mick. Mick, you gotta get into this and tell us who we're listening to.
All right. So this is my album for the month, okay? It's the new Berthold City album. When Words Are Not Enough. It came out March 18th of 2022. I'm pretty sure War Records is the one that put this out. But man, this thing is mean. It's brutal, and it's just a solid release. I've loved their stuff. I've loved everything that they put out. But this album, and I think it's their first full length. This one is good. There's not one bad song on this album. I love every single one of them. It's I read somewhere that the guy who started the band, he felt like he needed to put out something that kind of like, I don't know, change the attitude or atmosphere, whatever you want to call it in hardcore. You just want to do something that was like productive or helpful. And I mean, everything that they put out, and this album especially, is like the topping on the cake so far of everything that they've done. It's a very hopeful, it's a very like grab your attention album, and I love it. And the song that I want to play is the song Still Holding On. That's been my jam on this album. It's one of, if I'm getting on my Spotify list or whatever, it's one of the first songs I always, for lately it's been, I'm going to play this one first. When I'm at work, this is the song that kicks off my playlist or whatever. And right now this is the hot one that I really like. So we're going to play it right now. We play Still Holding On. Here it comes. Here it comes. I'm still holding on. Still holding. I'm still holding on to this, cause I still believe the truth is not that the truth can be. Still gave up, they have no heart. This world won't tear us apart. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you like these guys too. I know you do. And the reason why I picked this album is because I wanted to pick it before you did. But so what do you think?
Of course, I truly love this band. It's positive, it's straight edge, it's catchy. I first heard the single Out of Darkness, and I was like, this is gonna be in my top 5. Definitely, because it's just everything I love. It's great hardcore, great lyrics. It's very well produced. I don't know if the lead singer is part of War Records, but I know that like they're all kind of together. It's a real tight community over there. So they have like bands like Strife and stuff like that. So it's really killer. It's a complete album too. Like you can't. It's not one of those albums you kind of pick and choose it. You listen to the whole thing straight through, and it just keeps you entertained the whole way through. Great sound, very, very heavy. I'm a huge fan, and you know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's West Coast.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, is it? If I'm not mistaken, there is somebody from Strife in this band.
I think so. Yeah, I want to say. I don't know if it was the lead singer, but I know they're all like intertwined.
Yeah.
And they're all cool dudes. They're very involved in the hardcore community. So, and they have been for quite some time.
Right.
So,
right.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff.
Very good.
So, what pick did you bring this month?
All right, so I went super heavy, of course.
Yes, you did.
I went with another LA band in that area. It's Abrasions, and they released a EP. It's Born to Be Betrayed, and it is brutal.
Yes,
it is so heavy. It is just pounding. It's straight in your face hardcore from Southern California, and it was released on the almighty Indecision Records. Indecision Records is an amazing record label, and it simply pounds, man. It's like it is just so heavy. The combination of the drums in this thing with the screaming, it's so good. It's so tight, and obviously it's got tons of breakdowns, but the drums are really what killed it for me. The double bass, and the drummer is the drummer from Berthold City.
Really?
I found that out the other day. The guy who started this band is Jesse Price. He's the former artist, guitarist for CU Space Cowboy.
Oh, okay.
And so he got this project together. Adam from the Berthold City plays drums. the lead singer is from Dare.
Okay.
He's the same singer. He definitely has a way more screamy type go at it in this one. But yeah, it's a bunch of cool West Coast hardcore people, you know, and they're all intertwined. I'd say that they got like a 100 Demons / Marauder all out war type vibe. So very pounding, like just keeps going. And my favorite song is from this beast of an EP is Death's Embrace. So
yes,
my
favorite
you're
too.
gonna hear you're gonna hear the drums come straight at you. So why don't we just throw it right in their face?
All right,
Bring
here
it.
we go.
All right, go ahead.
Killer song. No, it's seriously this album's just it's not even like, I read some reviews saying it was like metallic hardcore, metalcore, whatever. It's just brutal. It is. It's just brutal from beginning to end, and the vocals are just mean. Like they're not this. It's it's not like I'm gonna sing songy or I'm gonna like, you know, somehow talk through this. No, it's brutal. It just feels like you're being slapped. Like, come over here, I'm gonna slap you as I belt out this guttural, you know, whatever. I was so happy when you sent that to me. I was actually at work, and so I brought it up, and it was a late night where there was nobody there. And so I was like just blaring this. I was like, oh, this is so good. So good. So yeah, I'm really glad you picked this, because I was like, man, I found a band that I can really get into. this year. So yeah.
The scream, like really, his scream in this just really fits the music so good too.
Yeah.
It just, everything's just going off each other. So it's great.
Yes.
I really hope, I think the guitarist, I was reading a little bit and he wrote a lot of it. I hope they keep it going because it's really killer.
Yeah. We need to hear more stuff from them.
Yeah, definitely. I can't even imagine a live set.
No. No. Like I feel like if they ever played anywhere, like the entire room is just pitch black with just like one red light on.
Right.
Like that's it.
It's like 100 demons, just total chaos.
Yes. Yes.
It's killer.
All right. So Wiley went Midwest. All right, we have all these West Coast bands. Wiley went Midwest, and we're gonna let him drop his album review right here.
Hey, what's up? Wiley again. I guess they're having me do an album review now. So let's get into it. This is my album review. My album review is Prison Suicide. Title is EP1, and it came out September 4th, 2021. And it's four blistering, solid, hardcore tracks. Grim Violator is my track. I love it. And before I even talk any more about this band, I think you need to hear it. So let's drop Grim Violator now. Hey, welcome back. Dude, I love how gritty and blistering the guitars are. The bass really drives this record, and it's honestly my favorite part about this band. Prison Suicide's bass player, you need to give him a raise because, I'm sorry, he makes your band. He's so good. Seriously. Everything is absolutely perfect with this band. I know one of the guitar players is from the Michigan hardcore band Brothers, and I've always loved his tone and playing style. I think his name's Damon. I'm pretty sure that's his name. But he's phenomenal in this band. The vocals are phenomenal. Everything just fits perfect. This band is so good. And actually, my buddy Luke Fortin sent this to me and told me I needed to check it out. So thank you, Luke. And if you haven't heard this band before, everybody, all the listeners, thank Luke Fortin for sending me these tracks because it's a killer record. It's so good. And I remember the last episode, I think Mick and Steven said killer like 40-something times. I kept track. So I'll add some more killers to this review. Killer, killer, killer.
Damn, you're a killer, baby.
So that was a good pick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Really good pick. And I know you want to talk about this EP too.
So,
I do too, because I've been in love with this album since it came out, and they've been like leaking little singles or whatever. But for me, it's the bass player just does not stop. He just keeps going, and you can just feel the energy through the whole thing. And the song that the bass player just kills it in is Ben Sick. That song just, oh, so yeah, when he picked this one, I was like, dang it, I was saving that one, but
right.
It's all right. It's all right.
Super fast, like punk hardcore too. Like,
yes.
it's got a good mix of both. And they're from Michigan, right? So
yes.
Is it Grand Rapids?
I'm not for sure.
I think it's the same as Bitter Truth, because you guys had them on. I think it's that whole circle, because what I actually caught these guys was when we had the guy from Worst South on, and I think he has someone in that band is in this too, or he had mentioned them. I think.
Yeah, he brought them up.
But they're it's super good. It's I don't know. It's super fast. The only thing I would say is they have they're fast, punky, hardcore songs, and they're done quick. So I definitely need more. Like I'd like a full length, so I could get like a good 15 minutes of them.
Right.
Tear some stuff up.
And I'd also like to know, like, there's just so much I want to know. Like, I want to dig in and find out the meaning behind their name,
right.
And I kind of maybe know, but just because of their lyrical content and stuff like that, but still, it's just unique. The whole thing, just very good album.
I think, I'm not sure the name of the lead singer, but he, I think he's pretty seasoned. I think he's been doing it for quite some time. So this is just another project of his, but it's great. I think it's a great start. They need to come up with some more stuff.
Yeah, totally
great.
All right, so let's get to the beast. Let's talk about this Godhead EP. We had Javier on, and he shared a little bit about the band, a little bit about this album. But seriously, I remember back in November. Is that when this came out? No, October. This thing came out in October, and I knew Wiley kept talking about him, kept posting about him, and then I started checking them out in October. And man, I started putting it on my playlist to listen to all the time, and it's one of those ones that's never came off. Like, it's still, because we have a playlist that we share with one another, and this EP has never left it. It's still on there. Like, I'm not taking it off. Like, it's that good. It is huge sounding to me. It's definitely has a lot of old school influence to it. Very positive, very hopeful. And for me, man, the song Karuna is killer.
Yep.
Like, and the singer, when he just busts out that line where he's like, Karuna, I'm like, oh, like I just want to be in a crowd, and when that comes and everybody just scream that out at the same time. I dig it. There is not one song that I do not dig. I love the intro, Godhead and Refuge, those two combined. It's just so old school. And it even has the where they yell the name of the band.
Right.
And that one, it's just so cool.
It's so good. It's good to see a spirit-filled hardcore band. Yeah. Because they got that vibe, and it's not an angry vibe.
No.
I know some of the other Krishna bands can come at you a little bit in your face type, and this is way more like I don't want to say laid back, but it's a relaxing hardcore. It's got that big thick bass that you love.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there listening to him, like, Mick likes this a lot because this bass is like crazy. But yeah, that last song, I agree, that's my favorite too. The Karuna, and it's awesome. I seen him play a few times too on online, and they're killing it. So
very energetic.
Yeah. And these guys, they're very seasoned. They've been in a bunch of different stuff over the years. But yeah, it's cool to see it come together, and just that positive energy, spirit filled, just a good outlook. Gives you a good feeling, which this world needs.
Totally. And I watched they just released some footage from a secret show that they did Like you had to like text or whatever to get the address.
Yep.
And I watched it and I was like, because watching it and then seeing the bass player, and and if he listens to this, I hope he doesn't think this is a diss, because it's not a diss at all. But dude's little.
Yeah.
Like he's and because my wife is like, that's right where my wife is at. And I was like, the bass player, because she loves Godhead, like probably way more than I do. Like it's always on in the kitchen, always on.
Right.
And so when I told her that, she was like, that just made him love her even more. It's like, the bass player's my height. What? I was like, yeah, dude, look, watch. Yeah. And so no, they are a ball of energy live.
Like, oh yeah, they looked like they had a lot of fun. That looked like a pretty killer show.
They need to do an East Coast run, right?
Yeah, right. East Coast, come east. Spring.
Yeah. What's in the middle between West Virginia and Massachusetts? Would that be Upper Pennsylvania? Would that be close?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
we can. So they need to come to like Philly.
Yep,
maybe a little above Philly. Come over here, so we can. So Steven and I will come.
Yeah, they can bring Berthold City with them and change, and it would be great.
And see, Javier said he wanted to play with Change, so that'd be a perfect opportunity.
Yep, we got it all mapped out.
Yeah, we can dream. We can dream.
Right.
All right, so there they are. There's the reviews. We told you some killer albums this month.
Amazing.
So check them all out. Follow the links. Check them all out. Follow the bands, and buy this stuff. Buy the LPs. Buy the records. Buy the cassettes. Whatever you can get your hands on. Help support these guys as much as you possibly can. So yeah. So that's the show.
Yeah.
The whole shebang. There it is. That was a good one.
Oh yeah. It's an awesome one.
Yeah.
Wiley got a little excited.
What's that, Steven?
I think, yeah. He's excited to be back.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. So go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
It was great having him back. I mean, he's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
And he gets very excited and going at sometimes. And he a busy guy too.
Oh, I know.
Very busy. He's got some killer stuff coming soon too that hopefully we can talk about.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not allowed to talk about it either.
Yeah, right. But we like to we'll keep people on their toes, you know?
Yeah. And it was good to hear his life update. He gave a little life update, so that was good to hear too. So yeah. So wow. Season 4. I believe this is episode 4.
Yeah. Episode 4.
So, yeah, it's episode 4, season 4, episode 4. Lots of good stuff. And hey, help us out. If you've been listening for a while and you haven't followed the podcast on Spotify and gave us a rating, or like followed us on, Apple Podcasts and gave us like a review there, like at least, we at least want 4.5. Give us at least 4.5, 5 stars. If you don't like it, then don't leave anything. But throw something on there that just helps us get, the algorithm. It's tricky, and that just helps us get into the ears of folks that dig this. And listen, you have our permission to hit the share button and share this on your pages and on your stuff. And you can even do a little TikTok of us if you do TikTok, whatever it's called. We're old. We don't know all this stuff, but you can help us out on social media, spread the word, and go on our Instagram page, go on our Facebook page, and like what we're doing. Repost the stuff, help us get this out there. Because man, we just want to. The whole thing when we started this was we wanted to talk about good coffee, so people could try it and get some for themselves, but then also talk about hardcore, because we love hardcore so much. And so we wanted to talk about these bands that we really dig, that we're really into. Like, it's stuff that we like. It's not like we're like trying to blow smoke or anything. This is stuff that we really like, and we want other people to hear it. New bands, old bands, the whole thing. So yeah. So we're happy that you're tuning in. So thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you. Go to your parents' Facebook page and share it on their profile. Get their friends listening to some hardcore.
Oh gosh.
But it's been amazing, and we got some more stuff coming too. So
yeah, we do. We got some killer guests coming up, and we're pretty stoked for it. So yeah, this is going to be a fun year, I think. So
oh yeah, big time.
In the famous words of the Carpenters, it's only just begun. Oh, what a way to end the show. Bring up the Carpenters.
That's right.
And I'm totally going to put that song on our set list on Spotify, which all the bands that we review, the bands that we interview, stuff that we randomly hear during the month that we're doing the show, and stuff we talk about, it all goes on the set list. So you can listen to the podcast and then also click on the set list and listen to all the bands and check them out, as well as all the links that we add into the episode description, so you can check out who we're reviewing and talking to. So good stuff.
Awesome.
Yep. All right, man. It's the end.
All right. We're out of here.
We're out of here. See you next month.
Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, bullshit on. Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore. Doing it right. We got the combo, we got the juice, we got the joke, we got reviews, we got the gold fuck you out the border. If you like the back, you better support them. Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, bullshit on. Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore. Come on, try to learn.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. Give it to me. Coffee and hardcore. Coffee and hardcore. Welcome to Coffee and Hardcore Podcast with Mick Cox, Steven Scopa, and myself, Wiley Willis. Yeah. Give it to me. Yeah. Give it to me. What? Okay. What? Okay. New theme song. Yeah. Say it. Don't spray it. Say it. Don't spray it. Yeah. I farted a little. No, get rid of that.